Not a single shift has passed without having me shattered. End of quote.
Hello, I'm Mary Beth. I'm a fourth-year medical student in Pennsylvania, also a veteran of the United States Army for nearly 2 decades. On Sunday, we hosted American nephrologist Dr. Imran on our weekly webinar for Doctors Against Genocide. The objective was to support the people in Gaza navigate malnutrition and refeeding syndrome. We learned that when we reintroduced food consumption, carbs are the worst in terms of safety. High phosphorus foods were encouraged, such as seafood, dairy products, legumes, nuts, seeds, bone broth, and canned foods. We were hit with the sobering reality when Iman Munia, a woman in Gaza, interrupted Dr. Imran to tell him that the foods he suggested when refeeding were unavailable in Gaza. I speak on behalf of all my colleagues when I say we collectively felt shame and guilt, even in our attempt to support. We fell short.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmad Abu Arab. I'm a family doctor from Michigan. I'm going to state a testimony from Ahmed Zaidan, a 10-year-old from Gaza who went to collect aid at one of the GHF distribution centers. He says, "We thought they would give us the boxes respectfully, but they turned out to be the filthiest. We stayed from 7 in the evening until dawn. Tanks on one side, quadcopters and Apaches on the other. I told the young men not to go. Damn those aid boxes if they come with humiliation. Either the aid comes with dignity, we don't want it. My mother was martyred. Before her, my brother was killed. And God knows who's next. We can't even guarantee our lives anymore. Here's my bag, and here's a sack of flour. We have no weapons. We're not going to fight. We are civilians, not soldiers. Don't go to the aid sites and sacrifice your lives."
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Dr. Kuratulan Sayyedan, physician from New York City. I'm going to share testimony of Dr. Khalid Al-Sir, renowned trauma surgeon from Nasir Medical Complex, Khan Yunus. While his telemedicine work was accepted, published in Lancet, he was abducted. On 28 March, the soldiers called me and 2 other civilian prisoners, aged around 16 and 17 by name. Dr. Al-Sir recalled, "It was night. They tied us very tight at our wrists and ankles and put us in a military car. No one told us anything. We drove for around 2 hours into the hills. All the while they beat us, kicking us and humiliating us. They were laughing. I was trying to explain in English that the ties on my wrists were too tight, but they just said I was a doctor, so I would be okay. At around 4 a.m., I heard one say in Arabic, 'These 3 are to be hanged.' I thought it was the end," said the surgeon. "I was in pain. They had broken my ribs. Even when they said I was going to be hanged, I didn't care. I just wanted it to end," he said. Dr. Al-Sir was not released until late September, reuniting him with his parents, for whom he is the sole care provider.
My name is Dr. Roxana Samimi. I'm an infectious disease physician. I will be sharing the account by a Gazan captive regarding Dr. Adnan Albour. This was an account about his time at the Albour prison area. The head of orthopedics at Gaza's Al-Shifa Hospital, Dr. Adnan Albour, was working at Al-Auda, a hospital in northern Gaza, in December when he and other medics were arrested by the Israeli army for what they said was quote-unquote national security reasons. He was taken to the notorious Ofer prison. A captive at Israel's Ofer prison in the occupied West Bank told Sky News how Israeli forces left Dr. Adnan Albour, who had previously been severely tortured, to die alone in agonizing pain and naked from the waist down in the prison's yard. He stated, and I quote, "In mid-April 2024, Dr. Adnan Albour arrived at Section 23 in Ofer prison. The prison guards brought Dr. Adnan Albour into the section in a deplorable state. He had clearly been assaulted with injuries around his body. He was naked in the lower part of his body. The prison guards threw him in the middle of the yard and left him there. Dr. Adnan Albour was unable to even stand up. One of the prisoners helped him and accompanied him to one of the rooms. A few minutes later, prisoners were heard screaming from the room, and they declared that Dr. Adnan Albour was dead."
Hello and assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Iman Husni. I'm a family doctor in the Northern Virginia area. My testimony is coming from Gid Qassam, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia's lawyer. Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, a pediatrician and the director of Kamal Adwan Hospital, was taken hostage on December 27, 2024, and is currently being held at the infamous Ofer prison. Gid Qassam, his lawyer, testifies that Dr. Abu Safia has been held without charge for 7 months. His freedom is nowhere in sight. Cut off from the world and held in Israeli detention without charge, he has endured repeated beatings, prolonged solitary confinement, and medical neglect since his arrest in Gaza. The reason for his arrest, the Israeli army claimed, was that he had been involved in terrorist activity. 7 months later, Israel has still not presented any evidence to prove it. At the time of his arrest, he weighed around 213 pounds. In the first 2 months, he lost 44 pounds. By the time his lawyer met with him recently, it was clear he had lost close to 88 pounds. Dr. Abu Safia spent almost a month in solitary confinement at Ofer before being transferred to a department with other detainees from Gaza. These cells are underground with no ventilation or natural light. The dampness is so intense that detainees feel cold even when the outside temperature exceeds 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The food that the prison provides is the bare minimum. They are being deliberately starved. Dr. Abu Safia told his lawyer that his most recent assault by prison guards occurred on the 24th or 25th of June. She said that he was attacked brutally and savagely. The beating lasted around 30 minutes. There were bruises on his head, neck, and chest. After they were done, he asked to see a doctor. He wasn't feeling well and he was having chest pain. They refused his request. She says that this was maybe the 5th or 6th time he had been attacked, and they also broke his glasses. She said, "I tried so hard to get him a new pair because after he was arrested, when he was arrested, he didn't have his glasses." She finally managed to get him a pair in May, but when they beat him again, they shattered the lenses.
Hello, my name is Sherrod Wertheimer. I'm a medical student at George Washington, right here in DC. I'm reading the testimony of Hala Shasha, a 40-year-old mother of 5 from Gaza City. She stated, "I dread the moment Hanan and Misk will ask me about their legs. What will I tell them? When I go to buy shoes for my children, what will I do when Hanan and Misk ask why I don't buy them any? If they say, I want to play, I want to dance, I want to ride a bike, what will I say to them? How will they adapt to their new situation? They lost their father, the love, compassion, and security he gave them. And they also lost their legs and their ability to move and play. Everything beautiful in their lives is gone. Their childhood was stolen. What did they do to deserve such devastation?"
Hello, I'm Dr. Krista Joseph. I'm an internal medicine physician from Maryland. This is the testimony of Mervat Hijazi. Mervat Hijazi and her 9 children didn't eat at all on Thursday, save her underweight baby who had a sachet of peanut paste. Oh, sorry. They had nothing to eat except for the peanut sachet for 11-month-old Lama, received from a clinic as a nutritional supplement because baby milk formula has all but disappeared. I don't have enough milk in my breasts to feed her because I hardly eat myself, said Hijazi, whose husband was killed early in the war as he cycled to get food from a charity kitchen. I'm so ashamed of myself for not being able to feed my children. Hijazi told Reuters from their tent pitched amid the rubble of Gaza City. I cry at night when my baby cries and her stomach aches from hunger. 6-year-old Zaha can't sleep because of Israel's bombardment. She wakes up terrified, shaking, and then remembers she didn't eat and is hungry. I put her back to sleep, promising her food in the morning. Of course, I lie.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Ritchie. I'm a family physician from Rhode Island. I'm here to give the testimony of Dr. Wafa Abu Namir. At Nasir Hospital in Khan Yunis, in the southern Gaza Strip, Dr. Wafa Abu Namir confirmed the dire situation, reporting that by June 30th, 2025, 9 children were still being treated for malnutrition-related complications at her facility alone. She described the scenes they have witnessed over the past 2 months as really unprecedented, with severe cases of nutritional edema or marasma, muscle wasting. She also said that some are additionally suffering from injuries due to explosions from which they have not recovered. Dr. Abu Namir described to Amnesty how the impact on children extends beyond the physical. One girl whose hair fell out almost completely as a result of nutritional edema kept asking me, "Doctor, will my hair grow back?" Am I still beautiful? Abu Namir said, even if these children recover completely from the scars will always remain with them. Medically, we know that malnutrition amongst infants and children may have long-term cognitive development effects. But I don't think enough attention is being given to the mental health and psychological impact of starvation and war on children and parents. She also conveyed the exhaustion felt by medical staff. We as doctors are also exhausted. We are malnourished ourselves. Most of us are also displaced and live in tents, yet we do our best to offer medical care, provide nutrient supplements, and as much support as we can. We try to save lives. We try to relieve suffering. But there is very little we can do after discharge.
I'm John Ruhr, a retired emergency physician. I've been on the front lines of conflict zones on 4 continents, and I have never seen anything like what is happening in Gaza. Missiles and bombs designed to fight modern armored armies are being dropped on helpless civilians penned in a cage. And if that's not enough, now we have the barbaric medieval siege tactic of starving a population to induce submission. Unbelievable. But we're not here today as diplomats. We are doctors whose duty is not to power, but to preserve life. And so we are asking President Donald Trump and the 535 members that work in this building behind us for 5 immediate actions. 1, open the crossings to Gaza for humanitarian aid.
Open it now. Open now. Now.
2, dismantling the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which, as you've heard, is nothing but a death trap dressed up as distribution centers. 3, unfettered access to food, fuel, medicine, and water to be distributed by the NGOs like World Food Program, the United Nations, and UNICEF and Oxfam, organizations that have experience in delivering this without killing people.
Let the now.
4, international protection for humanitarian aid and humanitarian aid workers. And 5, a permanent and complete ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
We're not asking for a miracle, we're demanding justice. Because genocide doesn't happen just in silence, it happens in bureaucracy, in delay, in neutral language from people that are powerful who should know better. So we're here to say no more. We will not stop, we will not be polite, we will not forget. Lift the siege, feed the starving, stop the killing now. Not another hour, not another child, not another bomb. Never again for anyone. For God's sake, people, reclaim our humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. If any of the media would like to do a one-on-one interview with anyone here, please feel free to tap someone on the shoulder if you have any additional questions you'd like to ask. Thank you for coming.
And the National Day of Action to end the starvation, people around the country have been asked to slam on pots.
Ecco Rashida.